bringing you key insights, tips, and advice from the brightest minds in the Canadian franchising industry. This is the Franchise Canada Chats podcast.
Welcome to the Franchise Canada Chats podcast, where we take you into the world of franchising. Our interviews are with franchisors, franchisees, and industry leaders who give on-the-pulse expert advice and insight. I am your co-host, Renna.
And I'm your co-host, Trisha.
This is Season 2, Episode 16. And Trisha, who do we have today?
We got to speak with Beyond the Classroom's franchisee, Tamara Leniew. Beyond the Classroom is a tutoring organization focused on boosting confidence in children that they tutor. Their highly trained tutors work with families to customize tutoring sessions, providing exactly what their students need.
In this episode, we get personal and discuss Tamara's midlife career change, burnout, and how her franchisor has become and continues to be a support system.
Enjoy the episode.
I really noticed in the submissions is that it was expressed that there's no business experience, and I like to rephrase that in the terms of no traditional experience. What were you doing, career, education, background, before you became a Beyond the Classroom franchisee?
I worked in the nonprofit industry pretty much my entire career, focused mostly on mental health. Various roles from support, case manager, to education and health promotion. It was really, just really worked hard and got paid really poorly for many years.
Almost like a different type of passion project.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, in some ways.
Okay. How did you transition into business experience?
Well, with lots of help, and it's still happening. But I think that there's definitely elements of what I always did that blend really well with what I'm doing with Beyond the Classroom. So I don't know if it would have been if I'd be successful owning different types of franchise, but maybe that, I don't know. But the business side of it, you get to be a certain age, and I think you can just see how I'm a very practical thinker, so I didn't realize how much this stuff appealed to my brain. I always was more focused on helping people.
Mm-hmm. And is that how did you kind of hear about Beyond the Classroom?
I know the franchisor, Kathy, the founder, the brilliance behind it all. We actually worked together in the mental health field many years ago.
Okay. And you just decided to join after that? Can you kind of walk us through the process?
Yeah, well, no, what happened, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, I'll use a term called burnout. I think that's what happened to me in terms of working in the industry that I was in. I was traveling a lot, struggling financially, working way more than what I should have been. No boundaries, all the bad stuff. And it catches up on you. I needed a change. I needed something different. And I knew one of the other franchisees, another franchise owner for Beyond the Classroom. I know her personally and through work, mostly through work. But so I just called her and I asked her how, because she did the transition a couple of years prior to me for different reasons, but worked for many years in mental health and then did this business. And it was Kathy's business, who we knew and worked with. And I'm like, what's going on, you guys?
Yeah.
They taught because they're smart, and they were people that we didn't work together every day, but we worked on projects and committees together, and I always respected them, and we had a good relationship. So I trusted both of them on many levels. So I talked to Cheryl and Milton, and she just, her experience had been so positive. So far in her journey, and that I just did it. I thought, all right, tell me more. How do I sign up?
And then I'm going to try and get a bit of the timeline here, if that's okay with you. So from your initial meetings or just even chatting with Kathy and then doing some other research and preparations with Cheryl, what was the timeline like between those conversations to where you are now?
So I would say the conversations with Cheryl started maybe like spring 2017. And I purchased the franchise in August of 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was able to get some money and I did it. And we got started right away. That was my goal. And it worked out. And yeah, so I'm going to be celebrating 2 years this August.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
This is where we'll have a sound break of applause for you.
Applause.
Yeah.
And okay, so within that timeline itself, what other research or preparation did you do prior to opening the franchise? I mean, August is a very opportune time, wouldn't it be as well for schools?
Yeah.
For what?
For schools and classes being opened.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, some other research or preparation beyond chatting with
No,
Cheryl?
not much. I mean, I didn't know anything about tutoring, to be honest. I'd never been tutored. I had never used a tutor for my children. It was more the business side of it that appealed to me. Like I wanted very much make money. And that was a goal I was very open about in the beginning. Still am, actually. But that excites Kathy, our franchisor, though, too, because, I mean, they're very passionate about, we all are very, very passionate about wanting to help people. But remember, I was burnt out from that when I started this journey. I didn't have much more left to give. And so I didn't see it so much as a way of giving as much of a way for me to make some money. And I knew they were doing that, so I trusted them. And it's been awesome because as you go through like healing and learning and growth and all that stuff, I found that passion to help again. And that's one of the best parts about this particular business, is that I'm still helping and getting that feedback on how I'm helping, but I'm making money. I'm not really having to travel all across the country running around ragged to help support these people.
I know this is where we'll also have more applause breaks happening as you
Thank you.
rediscovered
but
your
it's true.
No, exactly. It's rediscovering your passion for helping people, manifesting in a different way.
Yeah.
I really love this like juxtaposition that you're like, I have burnout. I didn't really have much to give.
Yeah.
I'm going to be my own boss.
I think it's really right? Like a lot of people might be experiencing that, like a lot of our listeners. So to kind of know that you can kind of find your own way.
It's doable. Yeah, it's totally doable because, like now I'm into doing all this other stuff around. I was learning about my ego last night and all these things. It's like, oh my God, that's so true. Like I was afraid that if I, did this, that I get so busy that I get back into that burnout again. But it's not happening. It's finding a new way of doing things. It's really kind of cool. It gets kind of deep, but that's part of this whole starting over piece, I guess.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, how do you make sure that you don't kind of experience the same burnout? Because running a business, you have your own goals, and especially initially, there's going to be a lot of things you kind of have to do on your own, and you don't have the experience as well with it. So
I could say definitely last year. I think I was still there. You know, like I was still in that, it's like, it's not just in your mind too, but it's the lifestyle. Like, so working from home was new for me. Like I did a bit before, but every day, all the distractions, blah, blah, blah. But there's lots of supports out there, like Facebook, fempreneur groups and stuff like that. And, you know, some even meet up and get together and they talk about this sort of stuff. And it's kind of neat because it's support for you as a person making that transition. And that's what's helped me, because you learn at different times. I absorb different, you know, messages. And so I'm at this idea now where when that's happening, I have to just sort of do something different. Get up and do something different. So take the dog out for a walk now instead of waiting until 8 o'clock every night, because that's when I had to walk him before.
Wow.
Because I was working all day long, right? But now it's like, hey, I can walk him at 1 o'clock if that's what needs to be done for me to, you know. So little things like that, I think, is what's helping me prevent that part. And also boundaries too.
It really does sound. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, with everything. Like, I mean, the type of work I did before, it was hard not to get engaged in some people's issues. There's a lot of trauma that I was hearing and helping people with, and not really supported myself to be doing that. And so I find that the way that Beyond the Classroom operates is that it's really the tutors that are providing that role in my work, and I have that more distance where I can clearly, because I'm good at that, right? I'm good at problem solving and helping people work through things, but I need that distance is what I've learned. That'll help me from getting too involved too. So
it really doesn't sound like you're achieving a work-life balance, this elusive work-life balance.
I know, right? You hear about it and you hear people saying it and you look at them sometimes and you think you're saying it, but you don't even know what it means. And, right? For sure, I've been there. I mean, but I'm an honest and open and direct person, I would say. I don't really know what that means, but apparently that should be what you strive for, right? So it's different. I get that it's different for everybody.
Yes.
But there is definitely lots of good advice and tips and help out there.
Do you think there are
There's lots of burnt out caregivers who have started wellness clinics and wellness work and stuff like that, right? And they're actually pretty good at it all. So use them if you can.
Yeah. Do you think that you find skills that kind of helped you with running a business?
Yeah, the skills, I think, I don't know for sure. Like I said, I still need a lot of work in that area, but I think some of the skills for me was like the systems related stuff, the whole coordinating and developing and communicating. That's stuff I've done from always, and I'm good at it, and I like that. I think my ability to listen fully to people, and then, you know, stick to, well, this is how I can help, this is what I can do to help with this, is a skill that is really helpful in this work as well. I don't know how much it is like to the business side, is like it is for my day-to-day business practices, but I don't know how it is in terms of growing my business, how good that is yet. We'll see.
That's the fun part. Yeah. That's the fun part.
Yes, I agree.
Can you describe a bit about Beyond the Classroom's initial training process? This is a bit of a two-parter question there, so why don't we start off with, can you describe Beyond the Classroom's initial training process?
Yeah, so Kathy took me away for a couple days. I know, it was awesome. She took me away for a couple days. I think the first thing we did was cracked open some champagne and said cheers. Congratulations and blah, blah, blah. And then we got busy, very, very busy. We sat down and she took me through, there was like a whole manual, and we did like, it was very systems focused, you know, like this is the day-to-day stuff, which was awesome because I could then get started right away. She gave even like scripts, like standard responses, all that stuff. It was just so helpful. And really, she was really focusing on helping me get a quick start because she knew that that's really what I wanted. I think that was what we did. Yeah, it was, and she's really good because she's sort of made the same, like we've had similar pathways in terms of our careers, right? And but she's always been more business focused than me. So she was good at helping like provide a blend of business and lifestyle training as well, like just little things here and there. Like, so let's get up now and go for a hike. Okay, so that was part of our training, right? We get up and get changed and we go for a hike because that was that getting up and doing something and balancing and all that. She was role modeling all of that to me. It was awesome.
Yeah, lead by example. That's great.
Yes, yeah.
Were there any challenges you encountered that training didn't prepare you for? Or?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There were a couple things that popped up that I thought, oh, wow, didn't see this coming. And honestly, it had never happened in the history of Beyond the Classroom either. So good chuckles. She's like, wow, those are really hard lessons to learn early. Oh, my goodness. But it was more the people side of it, right? So I was able to manage it. It was just more of the afterthought of, was that normal? Did I handle it properly? What did I do? What can I do differently? And of course, Kathy was there. The franchisor was available for debriefing and support throughout for everything. Like, it just pick up the phone and she responds right away, right? So
it sounds like a really great relationship between you, the franchisor, and the franchisee as well. Like, it sounds like open doors, open pathways of communications, and it also sounds like you two respect each other on a personal level as well as a lifestyle or as a business level as well.
And you get a lot of support. It sounds like you get a lot of support. Are there any other kind of support systems you rely on as well for this, like while you're running the business?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we have each other too as franchisees. We will sort of connect informally, but usually when we all are meeting or even meeting at all, it's with Kathy. She does still maintain a franchise of her own, and I think that's why she likes to stay connected to us and relate to that side of it. But yeah, I think I do. I'm starting to expand that a little bit in terms of support from me, but I do feel, and I don't know because I don't know what other franchise experiences are or what is offered, but I do feel like I get amazing support. I really do.
What about the ongoing training?
Yeah, like, so we always have quarterly meetings for sure at the least, but honestly, like for her, I think it's different for all of us because we're all at different levels. Like, I still have monthly meetings with the franchisor, whether it's face to face or on the phone, and it's very focused on, it's more like a business coach, some of our sessions, you know what I mean? Like, she keeps me accountable and on track with things, and gives me ideas and feedback, and lots of communicating that way. It just is awesome, and it's regularly enough for me at this point. Like, it's what I need, I think.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's just that the gentle touch as opposed to like an over bombardment or even the lack thereof anybody there.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yes, exactly.
With Kathy's style, is it very much memo based? Is it, in-person based? Is she using any tools or apps that assist the other franchisees?
No, well, we typically
with
email or phone or in person is how things go with us. We did recently use an online tool that we're developing, or I don't know if it's ready. I think it's ready anyways. I think it's been developed for some possible use with the tutors. So we used that in one of our last meetings, and it was really helpful because I was preparing using a template, a document, and so we could put it up on the computer screen and also still talk about it, and we could touch it. It was kind of fun, actually, just experimenting, doing different things. So we always try different ways, whatever works best, but recognizing travel sometimes gets in the way, so we have to do she'll even do a Skype if that's what you want. She's very flexible.
Yeah, it sounds like you're also embracing new technologies as well that you might not have had in your previous work life.
No way. Remember, non-profit charity, right?
Version 00.1. Here you go.
Yeah.
I think it's that's one of the best things about running a franchise as opposed to starting your own business, is all this support that you get. So it's you don't really feel alone. What's your favorite part about running a franchise?
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't answer that one on my paper.
Surprise!
I'm looking at it, it's blank. Why didn't I answer that? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is. I think it's so many things. I feel like I'm part of something still in terms of a team, having the brand, right? So when I hear other people talk about Beyond the Classroom, I'm proud. It's good. So that part of it I like. I ran into an old colleague of mine a couple weeks ago, and she, we don't live in the same cities, and so she said, oh yeah, my daughter has a tutor from Beyond the Classroom, and it just, and it was going well, and I don't know, I like that. So that was cool. I like that part of it, but I really liked, and I don't know if it's like this with all franchises, but I guess just having that pre-packaged sort of systems, everything's set up. Here you go, boom, get started. I didn't have the time. I wouldn't have had the patience or I don't think even the right support to start something on my own and grow from that.
Yeah.
Okay, take me back about 2 years ago to the spring of 2017. If you met yourself when you first started the business, what advice would you have for yourself?
Breathe. For sure. Breathe. Yeah. Slow down. Yeah. I was very anxious back then. And so I think some of the energy, now that I'm learning all about this energy stuff, I think some of the energy might have blocked some of the, I could have probably had earlier success. I think everything I did was successful. I think that the results were all successful, but I think that would just be it, really, is just to be, I hate saying this, be patient or calm down. I don't like those sort of cliche sayings, but that's sort of the message. Somehow I would say that. Just be patient. It'll happen. It's a good thing. Just follow, surrender to the process. It's because it was a lot of risk and fear around the decisions that were being made, and yeah, just that it'll be okay, that you're safe and everything will be okay.
And we're going to continue that mantra for the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years, I guess.
Yep. You got it.
So what's next for you and your business?
Growth. The G word, growth. I've already got my eyes on territory expansion. It wasn't something, I mean, there was talk about it last year, not with me specifically, but I thought, what? Why would you do that? But I'm already seeing there's a lot of development around where I live, and just driving around, I look at things differently now. I think that I've got more of an interest in real estate now than I ever used to. I'm thinking maybe that'll be my next business. Be a realtor too. I don't know. I like those real estate shows, but I notice all the houses going up, and all I do now is I look at that and I think, oh, there's more kids moving here. They're going to need tutors. And plus, my daughter is going into teachers college, not teachers college, but education program at Brock. She starts in the fall. And so thank you. So I'm just so much more aware of the teachers and the students and the tutors than I ever had. It's like I've been awakened to all of that. You know, my kids were always obviously in school, and they were school, but it just wasn't something that was on my radar really. Because work and everything gets in your way, and so I feel like that's how I look at everything now, is through that scope, and I like that. It energizes me. So I look at the areas around me and I think, maybe beyond the classroom should expand here and there. So that's my goal, my what's next.
That's nice. It also sounds that throughout this conversation, it's very clear that you are expanding your business acumen. I did not expect we would go from burnout to I'm going to invest in real estate maybe.
Well, I get a little excited sometimes.
This is a very positive thing. Keep going with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, these are just some fun starter sentences.
Now the lightning round.
Yeah, now we're in
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Cue our soon-to-be exciting sound cues. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
There we go.
Type style.
Yes.
Nice.
And until then,
except no lifelines.
Yeah, there's no lifeline, and Trisha's gonna beatbox them. All right, so this is a pretty easy one, Tamara. It's using 3 adjectives. How would you describe yourself?
Oh, wow. Confident, friendly, knowledgeable. Are those adjectives?
Yes, they are. They are now. And in your own words, within 2 sentences, can you describe the franchise concept, please?
So we provide Ontario certified teachers to go into homes and work one-on-one with children and provide them tutoring that best meets their individual needs.
Yeah.
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 I don't think that's it exactly, but it was close. It covered the 3 points.
Yeah, it is today. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Anything goes when you say it. Yeah. We believe you.
Yay.
Do you want to tell us about a recent success your franchise has accomplished, or alternatively about an upcoming milestone or achievement that you're excited about?
Yeah, well, I just submitted my biggest monthly sales report in the history of the franchise. So very excited about that in terms of money. But in terms of successes and partnerships, I mean, I'm super excited about moving ahead with some of the networking I've been doing in the community around suicide prevention. So I also am a trainer in suicide prevention. That's part of the mental health field that I carried forward. Been doing it for 19 years. So that was a bit of work or experience in self-employment for me prior, but I conferences and speaking opportunities, they're happening more and more, and so it's giving me more exposure out in the community for Beyond the Classroom as well. So I have a few things coming up in the fall that I'm pretty excited about.
Well, we look forward to hearing more about them. Yes. You'll have to give us a recap on it when this podcast comes out, please.
Yeah, well, there's a request in Oakville to speak. I think it's a wellness conference, but it's coming from the spouses of people who are married to first responders, and so they have a real issue with suicide in their communities. They don't talk a lot about it. So I've been connecting because I do trainings here in the community, and my focus has been very much on helping the families. Now, not, all the professionals get training and they have training dollars and stuff, but the training that we provide is so practical that every family, every household should know how to be able to help someone who's thinking about suicide. So I've been meeting so many amazing moms out there, and we talk about both, right? Tutoring and suicide prevention. Who would have thought it would be such a blend? But
Exactly.
it is. In terms of suicide prevention, I mean, it affects everyone, but the moms are the ones who take care of everybody.
Yeah, and rarely take care of themselves.
Exactly, right?
Rarely take that time to reflect on ourselves. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Absolutely. It's very important to the communities that really need the support and might not understand how to ask for that support either.
It's true, and plus as parents, we don't always know. There's so much information about anxiety and mental health and stuff to help kids with that, but it's still really sort of hard to find the help to talk about suicide because people aren't even really sure if they should be talking about it or not. So trying to provide people with the information that they need at their level so they're more aware is my goal, right? And so we've been providing it through all different avenues now instead of just the traditional, you're a mental health worker, come and take the training.
Yes, that's great. Maybe we can get that information from you and we'll just tack it on to the end of the podcast in case anyone listening is interested or they maybe know someone that might need the help as well.
True, yeah, absolutely. I could provide that, no problem.
Slightly digress, but we'll bring it we'll bring it back.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm good at that.
No, I think it's an extremely important topic.
It is, yeah.
And an extremely important topic, and it's we're talking about it because it's normal. We have to normalize this.
It's the only way to prevent suicide really is to talk about it openly and directly. Otherwise, it's just that dark secret that people are afraid to talk about, and so the kids don't always open up and get help then, right?
Yeah, exactly. They might not realize they need the help, and the more we normalize it, the more that it loses that taboo structure to it.
I know, and it's still hard because we were all raised to not talk about it, so it's breaking through those barriers. So we'll get there more and more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for allowing me to talk about it.
Of course. And I think Trisha's going to have to sneeze at one point. Alrighty. We are going to continue on with the lightning round. And these ones are more of like one-word answers or one-sentence answers. And you're going to really complete the sentence that we're saying. So,
all right.
Ready? The most interesting thing I've done recently is...
Well, I participated in an money energy master skills class.
Cool. Are you currently watching anything on Netflix? What are you binging on Netflix?
I'm not. I watched the last thing I binged on Netflix is over. There's no more episodes, and it was Ozark.
Oh, okay. Fun, good show.
Yeah.
What is one of the most enjoyable things for you to do?
Just, hang out with my dog. He's very cuddly. I'm one of those quiet backyard people.
What type of dog do you have?
He's a 1-year-old Rottweiler.
Okay, then alternatively, what is the hardest thing for you to do?
Oh boy. Keep my house nice and tidy and clean. I have 2 teenagers and a husband, and everybody works on different schedules. So it's just constant flow here. So that would be my day-to-day thing. Yeah.
I wish I had the same excuse. I'm sure there's a few franchise franchises we could call to help us clean our homes.
Right? Come help organize, yeah.
One of the most important things in life is?
Family, support, loyalty.
Well, is there anyone who's had a positive influence on you as a business person?
I mean, I can just go on and on about Kathy Thompson. I mean, really, she's my only influence at this point. I have a sister-in-law and my brother. They have both been self-employed always, and I have such a new perspective on them and their lives since I've been doing this, for sure, which is nice because it's enhanced our relationship. But definitely someone who's positively influenced me would be Kathy.
That's great. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah.
Last two questions here. The key to success is?
I think the key to success is trying to stay positive, always, everything. I think when things are negative, and I can see it so much clearer now. It's amazing. Like the awareness piece is immense. I don't know much about it beyond that. I'm working through that and learning that myself. But I think that that's the key to success. At least that's what I've noticed watching, because I pay more attention to that stuff now. I don't look at it all negatively. Like who do they think they are? I'm like, oh, that's amazing. How have they gotten there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, similarly, let's take the word failure, and can you redefine it for me? Like failure to you means, and we're trying to find a positive way to spin the idea of failure.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I think failure, it is very negative in so many ways. Like for me, like if I say to myself, I feel like such a failure, like that's, it is very negative for sure. But I think the best thing about failure or failing, anything to do with fail, is that what you learn from that. And if there's anything good in that, what you've learned, and what can you use now to help you get through it. Because again, not knowing how old I am or anything like that, you get to figure that out in life after, because you fail all the time. Some of us more than others, but that's just the way it is. So you have to get used to it and figure out how you're going to deal with it.
Awesome. Thanks.
That's great,
Yeah.
Tamara. Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom and insight. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Is there anything else you might want to say to listeners or potential franchisees out there?
Just, what, everybody, just keep doing it, man. Just do it. I don't know. I don't want to sound cliche, but I can't think of anything other than that. It's just really, it's been the best thing I've done in my life, for sure. Okay, I in addition to having kids and being married, but I forgot about them.
At least you threw it in.
My husband and my kids.
Take care, Tamara.
Thanks, ladies. It was a pleasure talking with you.
You as well. Bye. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to learn more, visit franchisecanada.online. And if you're interested in the franchise opportunity, go to lookforfranchise.ca.